How's it going, guys? Welcome back to AJ's Garage. On this part of the truck restoration, we're going to do the auxiliary tank that comes on the camper specials. I honestly never really thought I was going to get to this part, just because when I first started restoring the truck or working on it, finding out that it was a camper special, it was pretty much missing all of the auxiliary tank, the shield, the mounts, the filler neck, the hump that goes in the bed was covered up. So seeing that stuff wasn't available on LMC, I kind of got discouraged and never thought that I would really get to it. But this video is going to be just about that, putting the auxiliary tank back in the truck, finding the parts I needed to, and getting the truck running again. So hope you guys enjoy this one. Alright guys, so here is the gas tank. Ordered it off of the LMC website. This is the auxiliary tank that the camper specials had, and the original one is was a 25-gallon tank. I don't have that when we got the truck, but this is a 22.5, pretty much 23-gallon tank. So I ordered this. Ordered another locking lid with the key, the socket for the sending unit, 2 rubber hoses. The filler net comes with this piece of metal here. It's flattened out so that it fits under the frame. I'll insert a picture right now. And then we have the breather tube as well. Last thing, sending unit. Haven't put that in yet, but I'll get that put together. So I need to locate the gas filler neck hole. With mine being a 70, it is below this bump body line here, so it should be kind of in this area. I took a sander to it, but the grit wasn't heavy enough, so I'm just going to take it down with the grinder, see if I can find where it is. Alrighty, so it looks like I found where the hole was patched up at. You can see maybe they had burned through with the welder there, and then there's just a bunch of filler right in there. So I'm going to keep taking this down, kind of in this general area. So this is where I'm at now, and how we got there started with this. Went to the store, bought this bit, just a little bit bigger than the nozzle, so it should have been perfect. But as I got to it, I was able to kind of cut away here, but I wasn't able to cleanly cut on the right side here. You can tell the bit wasn't breaking the welds, so I ended up just having to cut around that top right corner and a straight cut down the side, and then this finally came loose. So this is what they had used. Placed it right behind the panel, just welded it to the bed, and then used Bondo to make it flush, and then painted over it. So the other day I decided to go to a local wrecking yard here in Fresno, California called Turner's. and it's actually been in a few YouTube videos. I've seen it. I believe Haggerty is the channel. I can't remember the name of the series, but a guy goes around the country finding old classic cars, and the owner gave him a tour, and there's some awesome stuff and cars on that property. But there was actually 2 camper specials, and of course this is what I needed, so I was pretty pumped when I was able to find these in pretty decent shape. These have been sitting in vinegar, at least this one has. It's pretty pitted, but this stuff you can't order. It isn't made, so you can't find it anywhere besides on junkyard trucks. So I found the protective hump that goes in the bed and the gas filler neck. Alrighty, so here is a test fit of the filler neck. All looks really solid, in the right spot. Besides the cutout piece, it was nice and centered. So here I got the gas filler neck all cleaned up. Just took some sandpaper, took all the paint down, got it down to bare metal. Just prepped it, just cleaned it up with some alcohol, and taped off the top piece there so I don't get paint on there. But gonna put a coat of primer and then paint it gray. So here's the final product, gas filler neck all painted. At the time when I had chose the color, which is just like a gray, it didn't really come to mind, but it actually matches the tank. So came out good. Not really worried about it being too super nice, but I'm happy with how it turned out. And also the fuel line that I pulled out of the junkyard in the previous video, painted that the same color. Now they're ready to go on the truck. Alrighty, so I have the auxiliary tank all mocked up, just holding it in place with some jacks. Fits really nice. Have this bracket right here on the other side of the drive shaft. It's supposed to hold in a shield, which I'm probably going to have to make for sure unless I can find one at the junkyard, but didn't see one last time I was out. Here's a view of the tank from the driver's side. This is right about where the door is, and then as I go back, as the frame goes up, exposes more of the tank, so that's where that shield will protect this side. So here's another piece of the puzzle. These are the gas tank straps that hold the gas tank up. I originally thought about possibly making some or ordering them. I looked online and I couldn't really find anything. I found these, and it said these might fit. As you can tell, they're not even close to these. I think I got those from Advanced Auto, but these I was able to get off of another trip to the junkyard. In pretty good shape. I already cleaned them up. This one, you can tell, has some pitting there, and what I'm going to use to fix that is just some Rust-Oleum and then paint over it. So this is the front strap, and I actually have the rear strap on here ready to get painted. This one hooks into and then bolts up there using a J-bolt to this piece on the frame. Final product on the gas tank straps. They're ready to go. Let's get this tank installed. Alright guys, so I got the gas tank all mounted. I was going to try to record this, but it was quite difficult to get it up there by myself, so ended up just installing it, and I'll go over it now. So as you can tell, it actually sits flush up there at the front, and as the frame curves up, more of the tank is exposed. I had originally also put the filler neck in along with the tubing prior to installing the gas tank. I figured once I got the tank up, I would be able just to tighten the clamps down on the other side, but that actually was quite difficult. So I had to do it reversed. I connected these two to the tank first, put the tank up, and then installed the filler neck. Now there was one issue that I have. This breather tube is connected to the tank, but actually on the filler neck, as I move over here, you can tell it's on the other side. So I'm not quite sure if that goes depending on the year. I believe I pulled this off of a 70 or 71, I'm not completely sure. I'm just gonna have to get an extension and kind of route this under and see if I can connect it on the other side, or maybe even just put a breather on this end for now. This front tank strap, I actually had to, I wouldn't say modify, but I assumed that when I picked it up from the junkyard, it was correct in the shape that it supported the tank, but it wasn't. As you can tell here, some of the paint from where I bent it into the correct shape came off, so eventually I'll have to pop those back off and repaint them. I also painted this small section of the frame here. I apologize for the low lighting, but this is the other point where the front strap mounts to. This smaller bolt to the right holds at the emergency brake line, but you're able just to fit the bolt through that small gap right there between the cross member and the cab, and then it slides through and the strap bolts up. There's no adjustment needed with this back tank strap. This one just set in on the other side. I'll insert a picture. And then the J-bolt just holds it up on the frame side. I had also installed the fuel line prior to putting the tank up. As you can see, part of it there. Once the tank was up, I was going to have no room to put that in. Here you can also see the sending unit. The last step was running some new fuel line from the line to the tank, which is the bottom one, up to the one that goes to the fuel pump. I eventually plan on building a little cover just so that this line's not exposed. Now let's fire the truck up. Alright guys, so with the tank installed and the truck up and running, we're going to end this video a little different. This is something I was able to pick up on my last junkyard run. I just kind of stopped by and was able to find this. I was really excited. So this is the auxiliary tank shield. Like I mentioned, they don't make these. On a few of the trucks that I had gone out to see, it just wasn't there. It was cut off, as you can see on this corner here. Instead of unbolting it, they just cut it to remove it and remove the tank. But luckily I was able to find this one. It was just sitting next to a pair of Camper Specials out in the yard, but a little rough, needs some work. So some of the mounting points need a little bit of work, especially some of the bolt holes like this one. And now these are all along the frame side on the outside towards the driver's side. Those need to be repaired so that it mounts up cleanly. Here's a closer view of that back point where they cut it off. These back mounts go to the support that I tied into the rear of the tank to the frame. And I'm not quite sure why they cut this out, but that'll be another piece that I have to repair. This one goes to the section up by the front where I'm missing that bracket. And then this bolt actually ties into the front cross member, the transmission support. My plan for the shield, once I repair those areas that I had mentioned, is to actually get it powder coated. I think it'll look really nice powder coated black, and that'll stand up to any type of abuse from the road and do a great job of protecting the tank. I'm excited to get this thing finished up and mount it on the truck.